Palmetto Carriage Works announced last week that they will not press charges against the woman involved in the harassment incident on Church Street in downtown Charleston last year. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with Ben Doyle of Palmetto Carriage Works one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Oh, Mr. Benjamin, it is so good to see you again.
Quintin, great to see you, my friend.
Likewise.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Anytime. Well, let me turn to the obvious, and this is the press release from you guys. Carriage Company will not press charges.
We, after a lot of thought and after a few meetings and talking to Van and sort of going over our options, I think, we decided that our best course is to continue to do what we do well, and, in a sense, turn the page on this issue, and sort of direct our finances in a more constructive fashion, which is into the business and towards our animals and our animal welfare program, instead of, chasing this down this rabbit hole of a civil case. It's just, it's not worth it. It's not worth all of the time, the money. I think we just think that this is a better use of our finances.
You talk about Van. Where is he with this decision for the city?
Van is obviously changed. He said that that this incident did change him. He said it changed him emotionally, and obviously physically, because he had a broken foot.
Right.
But that he was okay with our decision as a company, and that he himself also has no plan to pursue any kind of civil charges against the dinosaur lady.
That's exclusive right here.
That's right. Yeah, he is. He's content with the same sense as in what I said about the business too, and that we need to move forward. We need to keep doing what we do well and get past that. We've all learned some things from it, and I think Van is in agreement with our decision, and on his own personal level, he's chosen the same thing.
From May of 2017 to right now, what still plays in your mind about this incident?
Well, probably the fear of the fear of us being responsible for somebody getting hurt, or one of our animals getting hurt.
Okay.
And whatever that scenario is, and in this particular scenario, when it was an outside factor like that with somebody dressed up in a costume, you're sort of taken by two different emotions. You're filled with anger, but deep down, really, it's fear. It's fear for the situation. It's fear for the people. It's fear for the animals, and then it's an overwhelming gratification, in a sense, that there were no serious injuries, and that the animals were okay. Van, while he did, suffer a broken foot, he was okay, and the passengers were okay, and that overwhelming gratefulness that we all experienced, I think, probably sticks the most. That being thankful that nobody was hurt.
And obviously you touched on this just recently, but you also said this in the press release. You said this: while the carriage company could have chosen to pursue civil action against the individual, Palmetto Carriage Works will instead, quote, focus on working with the city officials to ensure Charleston is a safe environment for people and horses. So where do you start?
Well, the first thing is communication, which even since that incident, I would say communication is a lot better between us and the city officials. On our level, the TEOs are who we interact with daily.
Right.
We scope the city first thing in the morning, all of our routes, and the TEOs now do that as well. We sort of join forces in the morning, I guess is a way to put it, and exchange information.
Right.
As to this might be a problem, this might be a problem, this might be a problem, that type of thing. It is really just communicating the what ifs and turning them into definitely nots. If something could cause a problem, then we route another way. And while that couldn't have prevented the dinosaur incident, it did bring more awareness to the city level, to the TEO level, I guess to the industry in some fashion, that it is very important that we have a lot of eyes on all situations, or as many situations as we can, so that we can head off that type of thing. And as a matter of fact, the dinosaur lady, the day before, I don't know, this wasn't very widely, spread throughout the news,
Okay.
but the day prior to the incident, she was in the costume in the carriage zone, and a carriage employee told her to get out of the area because it would scare the animals. Nobody associated with me, but from a different carriage company, they know. And I would bet you that the city tourism official would probably say the same thing today.
Okay.
You need to get out of the area. Now, why she came back, we could dive back into the details of that case, but like I said, we're going to learn from it, and we're going to keep going.
Okay, you talked about fear earlier, and you talked about the dinosaur lady. Is there any fear of you guys that this might be a repeat incident again and again and again?
Well, a lot of people mention that. A lot of our communication happens amongst industry people on a Facebook page called Charleston Carriage Horse Caretakers and Supporters, and I noticed on that page that was the main topic right after the court hearing, and they dismissed the charges against her. Everybody said, this is going to open the floodgates for everybody to do this. Everybody's going to think you can get away with this. But I don't think that. I don't think that there was a level of angst created by the Animal Society campaign and created by the Charleston Carriage Horse Advocacy Group. There was a level of angst that existed before Dinosaur Lady, and there is the same level that is continuing that has nothing to do with Dinosaur Lady, and that's just not going to go away. They are charging up a handful of people that are going to bother us and are going to engage carriages and things and say ugly things to us. But, the dinosaur incident, I think, was a standout, and I don't see this as any major change in our, in the harassment, so to speak, that we already get. I don't think it's going to be an uptick. I don't think it's going to be less. I think it's going to stay just like it is.
You talk about staying just the way it is. Where's your energy level?
Well, I'm so passionate about our animals and our business, and how good of a job that we do, that I am fully committed. My life, I know my family's as well, that to continue this fight and to continue to do what we do correctly, do it well, as best we can, and you know, make my living with horses the way that I want to live my life. You know, this is the path that I've chosen, and I'm not going to let, like I said, a small handful of people ruin that for me. I'm not, and I won't stop.
Palmetto Carriage Works has been here for over 40 years.
Right.
What sticks in your mind when you think of it? What is it that people still don't know about Palmetto Carriage Works to this day, actually?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, probably the biggest thing, and I just got through the other day, I spoke with somebody, you know, the animals that come in here that we get, this is a very niche portion of a horse's life that we fill. Okay, the unwanted horse population in this country is enormous. There's a lot of unwanted horses in this country, and when we get horses, they are at the end of a career as a piece of farm equipment in some respects. You know, that they have worked up to usually around age 10 or 12 on a farm, pulling farm equipment, doing farm work, and when they slow down, they are sold off, something younger is bought, so that you know, speed is definitely a factor on the farm. So they want something quick, and when they slow down, they enter that, so to speak, that unwanted horse category. And this is a great job for those animals to do. We don't want anybody that's super fast. We don't want you know, anybody that's very, very young, that hasn't had a lot of life experience. So that age of retirement from a farm works perfectly for a carriage career in an urban setting. And we fill that niche, and we can give them a great 15, 20 year easy working retirement here. And then anybody who gives us good service, we also retire. And in our retirement, that means no work. That means that they live out in a field and they do not work. So the level below the surface of taking people around with animals on a carriage, there is so much more to the animals' lives and what they do, and the void that we fill in the unwanted horse population here, you know, below the surface. And it is much more than just vacation time for the ones that we own, and you know, making sure everybody has all of their needs met. They're in the big picture, we're doing an incredible thing in my mind, for a lot of horses that otherwise, you know, probably, you know, could definitely meet a different demise. You know, could definitely meet a different outcome.
Benjamin Doyle, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Hey man, nice talking to you as always.
Likewise.